we live in now, it's a highly digital place, but that wasn't always the case until a few years ago. So if we rewind, letting people know about your products was a little harder then. So even if you go back, say 5 or 10 years, promoting your products wasn't as easy as it is today. I mean, people had to resort to, good old-fashioned newspapers, putting in an ad, or those big thick books called the yellow pages that usually sat in your closet and weighed a ton. I mean, those were the ways to get your product and message out there. A lot of advertising in those yellow pages. Then you have billboards, driving down the highway, you see that billboard on the side of the road, you wonder, who are those people that are actually advertising this stuff? Of course, you have television that's been around for decades. A good source of advertising, but costly. And then fax ads. Uncommonly known way to advertise. By the way, who has faxes now? But people did advertise via fax just a few decades ago. So these were all the ways in which people had to get their product and service out there. It seems like so archaic looking at it now, but back then, that was legitimate. That was the way to do it. And then one thing made our lives a lot easier. So if you're a marketer, you're thinking to yourself, man, I'm glad I'm a marketer in today's day and age because it's social media marketing. Social media marketing has made everyone's lives better, from the company that's selling the product or service to the marketer promoting the product and service to the end user who wants to see that product or service and engage with that product or service. So social media is a good source of getting your product and service out there, and it just makes everybody's lives a heck of a lot easier. So we're going to answer that $1,000,000 question. And what's that $1,000,000 question? It's how can you rise above the rest? And so today's session is going to be how to start with social media marketing, so you can rise above the rest, leveraging this great platform that we all take advantage of today. So let's start by asking the question, what is social media marketing? Social media marketing involves increasing website traffic. It centers around engagement. It offers you the ability to increase your brand awareness, and it has other marketing goals. So you can create various forms of content for different social media platforms. So that's really, in a nutshell, what social media marketing is. So again, if we want to increase our traffic, or we want to increase our engagement like likes or comments, then look no further than social media marketing. If we want to engage with our users, our customers, our potential and prospective customers, we can really put a personalized experience in place using social media marketing. We want to create different forms of content like videos and blogs and infographics and other types of graphics with the potential to actually go viral. And what we mean by viral is spreading like wildfire. One user sending it to another as rapidly as can be. And before you know it, you get, millions of views and millions of likes. I mean, that's the power of social media marketing. So why do we want to do social media marketing? And I think we just answered some of those questions, but let's dig a little bit deeper. We mentioned in our definition of social media marketing that we have the opportunity to really build our brand awareness. And that is no more truthful than with social media marketing. More so than any other digital marketing channel, social media marketing allows us to really put our brand in a good light, in a good position in front of the right eyeballs. So it allows us to really improve our brand by pushing out the appropriate content in front of the appropriate people. Social media is a great channel for that. We can look to conversion rates. So if we are pushing a product and service in front of the right eyeballs, and we are building up a funnel of prospective customers who then turn into customers, who then turn into loyal customers, who then turn into lifetime customers, we can see at every step in the process that our conversion rates may increase. We can certainly leverage social media marketing for SEO, for search engine rankings. It's about off-page SEO. It's about posting content on social media platforms to build up some link juice. Okay, so there is some inherent benefits to working SEO and social media side by side. It's cost effective. Well, if you're posting content on Twitter or Facebook, It doesn't cost you anything. It just takes a little bit of time and creativity. Now, if you want to go ahead and do some advertising on these platforms, yes, it's going to cost you, but you'd be surprised. It's not going to be as costly as, say, other search platforms like, say, Google or Bing, where you're actually paying for keywords and paying per click for those keywords. So social media marketing can be very cost effective. And then increase top funnel traffic. So it goes all the way back to brand experience and brand awareness. If you're putting yourself in position to get seen by your target audience, okay, your target audience goes from seeing your brand for the first time to getting to know your brand a little bit more, to maybe buying a product or service from your brand, then returning to buy another product and service, and then continuing to buy that product or service. I mean, that's increasing the top funnel traffic, and not just the traffic, but the conversions. So at every step in the process, social media allows you to build that funnel, depending on where somebody is, whether they're seeing your brand for the first time or actually returning to purchase the product or service again. So that's the inherent benefit. These are the inherent benefits of social media marketing. Now, we talk about social media marketing. What are the channels used for social media marketing and how can we use them? It's really, social media marketing is a channel in itself. So let's take a look at the platforms involved with social media marketing. Now, there are some really popular platforms. So if you can't tell just by these logos, then you probably have not used social media marketing or social media platforms before, or taken part in social media at all. But, one would like to think that the majority of you users out there today know what Facebook is, what the logo looks like, what it does. Same with Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. LinkedIn, B2B platform. YouTube, great, very popular video sharing platform. And then Twitter, which is considered microblogging, but still social media. So these are the most popular platforms out there, but there are hundreds of social media platforms. In fact, when we talk about social media marketing, it can be anything from microblogging to video sharing like YouTube, to B2B networks like LinkedIn, to, say, bookmarking sites like Stumbled Upon, content sharing sites like Reddit, Q&A sites like Quora. So there's plenty of different types of social media platforms out there. In fact, if you folks have any popular or you think valid social media platforms that these listeners here should really get to know and understand and use, then go ahead and put that in the comment section underneath this video. I'm always interested in knowing what social media platforms are out there and what people are using, how platforms are trending, what's popular, what's not, and ideally, as a digital marketer, where my target audience is. So these are the most common, but there are hundreds out there, hundreds. So let's talk about the most popular social media platform, and that's Facebook. So Facebook has an average of 2.27 billion monthly active users. Now that number is fluctuating because we're talking about billions of monthly active users, and that number is probably trending up. 88% of all users are on mobile. So what does that tell you? That tells you that Facebook has an app, and the app is very popular. In fact, I tend to use the app more than I use the web page for Facebook. Okay, so I don't necessarily log on via the internet on my laptop. I go right to the app. It's just easier to disseminate information, easier to add friends, comment, respond, etc. So it's no surprise that 88% of all users use mobile. Now, 66% of mobile monthly users use Facebook daily. So a lot of recurring users going back on a day-to-day basis, 2/3. So it's an addiction more than it is anything else, because what Facebook is really you're getting information from the people you trust, care about, like, work with, share a group with, share common interest with, partake in the same organization, maybe have the same running group, same passions. I mean, that's what Facebook is. It's a commonality amongst people. And if you build up a network of that commonality, it's going to be addicting to take part in that. The closest network you can ever get to is your family. So if your family's on Facebook, then likely you're going to be on Facebook communicating with your family via this platform, especially if you don't live close to your family, or especially if you don't live close to your friends. I know in the United States, people move a lot for work, or people travel a lot for work. And so Facebook bridges that gap between distance. And you do feel like you're part of somebody's life on a daily basis being on Facebook. So that's what makes it the addictive part. So if you think about it from an end user's perspective, it makes total sense. Now, if you wear your digital marketing hat and you're thinking, hey, 2/3 of monthly users are using it daily, and there's billions of active users, then whoever I'm targeting has to be on Facebook. Now, if we look closer at the demographics, we could see that a lot more seniors age 65 plus are using Facebook. So 60+% of seniors are using Facebook. So Facebook is trending older. However, 35% of the audience is below the age of 25. So it's not just trending up, it's also trending down. So a lot of young people are still using Facebook. And then Facebook is pretty evenly matched between males and females. Now, if I'm either skewing older or skewing younger on my target audience, and half female, half is male, then I know somewhere in there, whoever I'm targeting is going to be on Facebook, just based on these numbers here. So your demographic is likely going to be on Facebook. Again, depending on your industry, depending on your product or service, but considering the number of people and how it's skewing older and younger and everybody in between, Facebook has something for everyone. Now, Facebook allows for video content. So you could post videos all day long. So if you have YouTube videos, you can share those YouTube videos on Facebook. In fact, video, just like on most platforms, tends to provide better engagement. And the industries that can really capitalize on Facebook tend to be food and beverage, news and media, and e-commerce, meaning you're selling a product. Facebook has, plugins that allow you to really accentuate what you're trying to sell. And when I say that, accentuate, I mean really incorporate an opportunity for people to use the Facebook platform to not only just engage, not only to share, but to buy, taking that process a step further. So if you're selling a product, you can more or less set up a Facebook shop, if you will, and sell your product there. So that's why it benefits those that are in the e-commerce industry selling a particular product, or in the food and beverage industry. Now, some of the most liked pages on Facebook spans across many, many brands, but let's just take a look at Coca-Cola, for example. And Coca-Cola just pretty much pinpoints everything great about what you could do on Facebook. I mean, you could see here, they have their opening page is a video. And so you could see they're posting different content about, this is about a grant, how they're helping the city of Atlanta. They're talking about recycling. So to me, these are community-based posts. So they're not necessarily just pushing out their product per se. They're trying to use Facebook to build up brand awareness. So a huge Fortune 500 company like Coca-Cola is not necessarily just using Facebook just to push e-commerce or push a product. They're out there, pushing what they're doing for the community. So this is a good example of, how you can really leverage Facebook, taking advantage of everything Facebook has to offer. And that means brand awareness, community building, sharing, updated information, not only about the company, but in this case, Coca-Cola is situated in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. So, what are they doing with the community? Okay, so this is a good example. Of course, it's a big example because Coca-Cola is a big company, they're worldwide, but the great thing about Facebook is you can always take a peek at what other companies are doing. Whether you have 1 million+ people liking your page or 100+ people liking your page, you can always get ideas as to how they're leveraging Facebook. Now, if you do have a company, you can create a Facebook page for your business, just like Coca-Cola. So you want to be able to separate out your business from your personal page. And like everything you do, whether that's writing a blog or creating a video, you want to have original content that's relevant to your audience. You want to use Facebook for some promotion, but every post doesn't necessarily need to be promoting your product or service. You saw what we just witnessed on the Coca-Cola page, it was about what they were doing to, benefit the earth with recycling, or what they're doing in conjunction with the city of Atlanta. So they're more community-based posts. And so to me, that's original content, positive content that isn't necessarily pushing their product per se. Now, you could argue, hey, it's Coca-Cola. They have the biggest brand in the world, and that's true. But just think about your product and service. Think about your brand. If you're trying to build brand awareness, what does your brand stand for? And if your brand stands for, say, the globe, the ecosystem, the environment, then you probably want to be pushing out posts in that direction. If that's what you stand for as a brand, then you want people to know that, because like-minded people are on Facebook, and those like-minded people are going to be the ones who like your page, who engage with your content, and tell other people about it. So you always want to go original. You always want to be true to yourself and true to your brand. And then you could take advantage of user-generated content, like sharing a user's experience of using your product. So in other words, if somebody's engaging with you, or they've posted something about your brand and product, you can reciprocate. You can certainly post something that is similar to what somebody's doing with your product or brand. So that's a good way to create some original content, by taking advantage of what the users have generated. So these are just some examples of how to take advantage of Facebook. I mean, there's lots of things you can do on Facebook, plenty of things. If we float back to Coca-Cola page, you can see they have, careers. They have different videos. They have reviews. They have community. So nowhere in here do I see an e-commerce platform. Now, if you are selling t-shirts, then hey, you can put something in there to help you sell that t-shirt. But Coca-Cola's strategy is, hey, what can we do to help build up our community? What can we do to fundraise? So if we click on fundraise, you can see they have, an end AIDS campaign here. If you look at Simplilearn, just as another example, you can see what Simplilearn's done as well. You can see they have information about us. They have different events. They have a community link as well. And so you can see what they're posting as well. And you can see they're posting visitor photos. So there's lots you can do on Facebook. You can post polls. You can put your Instagram feed in there. You can add testimonials. So there's a lot you can do on your page. You just got to get creative and take advantage of everything Facebook has to offer. Be true to yourself. And before you know it, you're going to have, a number of likes on your business page as well. So some other tips about Facebook when it comes to content: you want to schedule your content. Okay, you don't want to just continue to post back to back to back to back. You want to space your content out. And another great advantage to Facebook, as I already mentioned, about social media marketing, that's advertising. So Facebook owns Instagram. They have a great tool for communicating called Facebook Messenger. And so you can advertise leveraging Facebook Messenger. You can leverage Instagram. And what you need to do is, if you go to Facebook's ad manager and you create a campaign, when you go to create a campaign, you're going to click on placements. And depending on what you're trying to do, let's just say you're trying to build brand awareness, you can actually hone in on, Facebook. You can hone in on Instagram. You can do a number of different things within Facebook. You have different ads available to you, from single image ads to video ads to carousel. So you have a lot of options. And the biggest option on Facebook when it comes to advertising is your audience. Who are you targeting? So remember, Facebook has old, young, and everybody in between men and women. And so you can specifically target interest. You can specifically target gender, an age, a location. So Facebook really allows you to hone in on who your audience is if you're advertising. And so that's the great thing about Facebook. They have a lot of users, and you have an opportunity to hone in on a segment of that user base. Now, Facebook also has metrics that you can look at to really understand how people are interacting with your ads, how people are interacting with your post. So let's take a look at that. So if we go to Facebook, when you go to your page, you can click on Insights, and you can actually see some insights on posts that have been posted on your page. You can get insights into how many people viewed it, how many people liked it, how many people engaged, how many people you reached with your post. Okay, you have information about videos, followers, Facebook provides recommendations. So this is all part of Facebook Insights. So if you're posting on Facebook, Facebook will give you feedback as to how your posts are performing. Now, if you're running ads on Facebook, you can simply just view metrics related to how your ads are performing. So you could see how many people clicked on an ad, how many people the ad reached, how much you've spent. Okay, you can look at it by demographic. You can even see cost per result. So you can get a lot of good insights into how your ads are performing as well. So if you're running a campaign targeting a specific audience on Facebook, you can look at the stats and metrics surrounding that campaign. And again, for your Facebook page, you have Facebook Insights. So if you have any questions, feel free. We have a video called Facebook Advertising Tips and Tricks. So feel free to, take a look at this video on Simplilearn's YouTube channel for more information about Facebook. And if you have any comments to share about Facebook, feel free to put them under the comment section. Okay, let's turn our attention to one of the platforms Facebook actually owns, Instagram. So Instagram is a place where you can actually promote your brand, product, or service through the power of imagery or video. And so the average number of monthly users on Instagram reaches 1 billion. And 32% of all internet users are on Instagram. So a lot of users using it. It's very easy platform to use. The only prerequisite, you need your mobile phone. So you open up that app. It's as simple as just uploading an image. That's why Instagram is so popular, because it's just a simple tool to use to go ahead and just post an image with some hashtags. So 68% of all Instagram users are women. So unlike Facebook, it does tend to slant more on the female side. And 59% of the audience is a bit younger, between age 18 to 29. So slants more women and slants more younger. And so if these particular demographic and age groups tend to fit your target audience, then Instagram is a place you probably want to be for social media marketing. So as I mentioned, content that works best are photos or videos. I would always slant towards videos if you have them available, but photos, the rule of thumb is photos always tell 1,000 words, 1,000 stories, 1,000 interpretations. Images are just always the best way to go as well. I mean, if you don't have the videos, hey, nothing to be sad about if you fall back on imagery. So you can really put your brand in a good perspective and a good light by posting images. And as you can imagine, if 18 to 29-year-old women are on Instagram, that's skewing towards a certain demographic. But in terms of industry, it is open to most industries. But the ones that tend to be most successful are beauty, food and beverage, and e-commerce. Now, food and beverage always tends to work well when you have video and imagery. Likewise, beauty. But e-commerce, if you're selling that t-shirt or shoe, Instagram allows the platform to work in a way where people can purchase that product right within the platform. So that's why it tends to work well with e-commerce. Okay, there are lots of channels, just like on Facebook, lots of channels on Instagram. I mean, some of the most followed brands are Chanel, Starbucks, Nike. I mean, if you have a product or service that you want to push out there, then Instagram is the way to go. Just for brand awareness. If you're selling shoes, then why not take images and photos of those shoes and get them posted on Instagram? Like I said, it's very simple to use. All you need is some hashtags to go along with that photo of a shoe or photo of that cup of coffee. And Instagram kind of takes care of itself. I mean, photos do accentuate the product if you have them. So leverage Instagram if you're really trying to build up some brand awareness for a particular product. Some best practices here on Instagram is, have a compelling bio, a good profile picture, add a link to a landing page, and, leverage emojis if you have to. So set yourself up nicely on Instagram. If you're in a particular industry like food and beverage, follow other food and beverage brands like Coca-Cola, like Starbucks. Depends on what it is you really want to be related to. So just make sure they're relevant. Get hashtags. Can't stress that enough. When you post a photo, throw some hashtags in there. You can see what other people are hashtagging on Instagram, and you can ride that wave of what's trending, or you can create your own unique hashtag. I'd probably have 2 to 3 hashtags per photo. And don't be afraid to use both photos and videos. Videos do tend to work well on pretty much any platform. They tend to work well on websites and blogs, so why not use them on social media where people can engage? Okay, so videos and imageries both work well on Instagram. Okay, you can also get shout outs from other influencers. Plenty of influencers on Instagram, especially in beauty, especially in food and beverage. Fashion tends to be another industry that has a lot of influencers. So feel free to reach out to them, reciprocate. See how you can work together where they can actually, give you a shout out on your particular product. You want to keep your Instagram account updated, and you can update those with Instagram stories. It's basically you showing off a particular product, over a span of a few seconds or even a minute. That's an Instagram story. They're very popular, easy to use. You can even run contests to boost engagement. So for example, if your particular product is a particular food, like a hamburger, hey, post a contest about, allowing your followers to post the best good looking, tasty, hamburger as an example. Or it could be something else in terms of fashion. Hey, what's your best outfit on a Friday night before you go out for the evening? There's always things you can do to spur engagement, especially on a platform like Instagram where people like to post photos. And then I mentioned this earlier with Facebook ads. You can run Instagram ads to give a particular post a boost. So if we take a snapshot of what we have available in Facebook Ads Manager, you can choose Instagram as the particular platform. So if you just want to advertise on Instagram, when you go to your placements, you could choose just Instagram, either the feed or the stories. Okay, so you can choose one of these 2 options if you want to boost your posts, get some more eyeballs on that. Okay, it's a cost per click platform, so anytime somebody clicks, it's going to cost you. But, just like Facebook, the cost per click tends to slant a little bit lower. It really depends on what you're trying to post, when you're trying to post it, and who else is posting. But hey, the Instagram feed and the stories could be a good option if you're really trying to draw attention to a particular product. Okay, let's turn our attention now to the B2B platform called LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very powerful, popular business-to-business platform. Okay, it has 260 million active users monthly, and unlike Instagram, where Instagram slants more towards women, LinkedIn slants more towards men, 57%. So a majority of the users are men, but still you have a lot of women involved on LinkedIn. So a nice mix between both genders. 38% of the user base are millennials. A lot of young people, older people, a nice mix from lots of different business segments, different levels of business, different business industries and verticals are on LinkedIn. So don't be, shying away from LinkedIn if your demographic or target audience tends to be older. Just because 38% are millennials doesn't mean anything. It means that everybody's using it. That means that, hey, more than 1/3 of the users are millennials, are younger. Now, LinkedIn is a B2B platform. So if you're in the business of generating business leads, then LinkedIn is the place for you to go. There's opportunities for you to advertise on LinkedIn. Okay, there's also opportunities for you to post lots of different content on LinkedIn. So content that works on LinkedIn could be a blog, it could be, particular news article, tips and best practices. I've posted videos on LinkedIn. It's good for jobs. So there's a lot of content on LinkedIn. So if we take a sneak peek at LinkedIn, if I just go to LinkedIn here, and I just go to my home, the start news page, I could see the types of content that's been posted. So somebody just posted something with an image, then you got an article down here. Okay, you got, an influencer like Richard Branson posting. So you got a lot of different types of posts that you'll be able to see and, leverage if you want to. Meaning, when I say leverage, if you see somebody like Richard Branson posting something, hey, stay fit and healthy, that's an image. That's something about, not about business per se, but, something interesting and unique. So you can see all sorts of different types of content based on who you're following on LinkedIn and who you're connected to. Some things about LinkedIn, you always want to create an engaging profile. When I say engaging, well, first things first, make sure it's complete. I mean, there's lots of opportunities. So if you sneak over to my profile here, you want to be able to post a lot of information about yourself. So about what you're affiliated with, what jobs you've held, what groups you're associated with, what your interests are, what certifications you have. So you want to be able to, complete your total profile. You can create a company page for your business. So if we go back to LinkedIn, we can just do a search for, say, Simplilearn, and let's take a look at, their business page. So if I just do a search for Simplilearn here, so if I select their page, you can see, just like your profile page, if you have a business page set up on LinkedIn, you want to make sure it's complete. You want to put information about the company, what jobs are available, and you want your company to associate with that business page. Anybody who does, follow that particular business page, part of the organization is going to be listed under people. So, and you want to be able to post, just like on your personal profile, if you have a business page, you want to be able to post unique content. I mean, you can see here, Simplilearn is posting, some of the accolades that they have, but they're taking that a step further. They're also posting, information about, upcoming events and webinars. So they're posting a mix of different content. And that's ideally what you want to do on any social media platform, is mix it up. And just like you can on Facebook, just like you can on Instagram, you can, boost a post per se. Okay, so you can get that post in front of some additional eyeballs. Now, of course, you want to optimize your company page for searches. So it really does come down to how many people are following you. But when we say optimize your company page, just make sure it's complete with some compelling content, and then increase the number of followers you have. So the great thing about LinkedIn that I like the most is that, you can, simply look at other people. If I go back to, say, the homepage, you can actually see who's following what. And, LinkedIn does give you opportunities to connect with people. Okay. So if you go to your profile, you'll be able to see other people that have viewed your particular page, and you can connect with them, okay? Or connect with people who are like-minded or similar, or connected to people that you know. So LinkedIn does a good job of presenting other people you can connect with. So it makes it easier for you to increase the number of followers. So having an engaging profile, personal profile, having an engaging company page, making sure both your personal and the company page have all the content necessary, have all of it completed, and then increasing followers, posting unique content. I mean, that's really the key to LinkedIn. Now, again, with LinkedIn, you can use different media, you can use videos, slideshare presentation, images, and you can boost content. As I mentioned before, you can boost content on LinkedIn. So if you want to get that content in front of eyeballs, you can do that. So let's take a look at an example of a campaign and what you could do on LinkedIn in terms of sponsored content. So if you go to LinkedIn's campaign manager, you have an opportunity to put your ad in front of a particular audience. So it really depends, again, on who you're trying to target. Just like Facebook, which slants more towards personal, LinkedIn's going to slant more towards business. So with LinkedIn, you have an opportunity to target a particular industry, a particular company, a particular job title. Okay, so you could target everything business related on LinkedIn. So you can go ahead and create an ad. The ads have imagery to support the ad. And so basically when you set up your ad, you set up your target, you could choose your placement. You're going to be able to see, who it is you're actually targeting. And you can go ahead, and the great thing about LinkedIn is you have different ad formats. And again, you can get really creative with who you want to target. And just like Facebook, LinkedIn has, some metrics that you can measure and figure out how your particular campaign performed by impressions, by click-through rate, even conversions, cost per conversions, and how many leads. So LinkedIn has built-in platform for measuring campaign success. And so the differentiation between Facebook and LinkedIn is really just the type of demographics that you have to choose from. With LinkedIn, you do have, different options available based on business, like, job title or job level or industry or vertical. So you have a lot of examples available, or a lot of options available to you on LinkedIn in terms of advertising. Okay, let's talk about YouTube now. So YouTube has 1.9 billion active users. If it was a search engine, it'd be the second most popular search engine. The highest number of monthly active users in decreasing order starts with the United States, Brazil, Russia, Japan, and India. All big markets, all like to use YouTube, but YouTube's popular across the world. Just like Facebook, where the app is popular, the app for YouTube is very popular. So 70% of all views are generated from mobile. So with YouTube being a video platform, you definitely need videos. Now, there's a lot of industries on YouTube, a lot of industries. And some of the most successful brands on YouTube, range from logo to Coca-Cola, pretty much to every brand. If you're a brand, you want to be on YouTube because of the massive reach that YouTube has to offer, coupled with video and how great video is in terms of engagement. It's just a great combination. Okay, so some best practices here for YouTube. You want to optimize your video for SEO to get views. And so we have a video that we've created at Simplilearn, how to rank YouTube videos. So if you watch that video, you'll get some really good tips and strategies about how to, optimize your video for YouTube. The very least, you want to make sure that you're using the right keywords in the title, description, and hashtags. So that's a start when we talk about optimizing your videos. You want to upload regularly and fix the schedule for your videos, because if you're starting to get followers on YouTube or subscribers, they're going to expect you to produce more video, especially if you're producing engaging, unique, relevant content for that target audience. So we're not saying you have to have a video once a day or once a week. Start small and build up and get on a regular schedule. Okay, then you can organize your videos into playlist. So, if we look at Simplilearn, Simplilearn does a good job of organizing their videos into a playlist. So all you have to do is go to
I'm a founder and CEO of
Simplilearn's YouTube channel, and you can see how it's broken down into playlist. Now, YouTube also has the ability, because it is global, you do have the ability to provide translations. So if your target audience is from another country, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Like Facebook and Instagram or like LinkedIn, you can advertise on YouTube. You would just need to do that through Google Ads. So with Google Ads, you're going to say, Google, I want to advertise on YouTube, and you have plenty of available options available to you. Anything from, pre-roll to showing up in the middle of a video to showing up, at the end of a video, all the way to native content marketing where, your ad is showing up next to a video. So you have plenty of options for advertising on YouTube. And then just like on Instagram, there are influencers on YouTube. Feel free to reach out to these influencers and see if you can collaborate in some way, where maybe you post their video on your channel, they post your video on their channel, and vice versa. So you want to be able to maybe collaborate somehow to get some views on your video. Okay, let's talk about Twitter now. So Twitter is a microblogging platform. And so when I say microblogging, I mean limited in characters, limited in how much you can actually post. But it's very popular. It has 326 million active users per month, and it does tend to slant a lot towards millennials. So a lot of young people use Twitter, and a lot of people use it to get their news. So no longer are the days of grabbing that newspaper, no longer are the days of going maybe to a media news site online. You can quickly go to Twitter and get all your news right there in a feed, an easy feed. Let's take a peek at Twitter here. I can get everything from, somebody posting something specific about their dog, all the way to a particular job. all the way to industry news, all the way to basically an advertisement, all the way to a specific news article. So it's all here on Twitter in your feed. So Twitter does offer videos, so videos do work well. So if I go back here, you can see, here's a video of Antonio Brown. He's posting a video of his news conference and another promotional video. So industries that capitalize on Twitter, as you can guess, if a lot of people go there for their news, you'll probably see a lot of news and media and entertainment on Twitter. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't use Twitter for your brand. It really comes down to target audience. Some of the most influential brands are slanted more towards, news and media, but you got cosmetics, you got gaming companies, you got everybody's on Twitter. Okay. It just comes down to, does this platform have your target audience? And given the nature of Twitter, how can you get your particular brand, product, or service out there in so many characters? Okay, some other advantages and best practices you can use on Twitter. So I would recommend implementing Twitter cards. And really, all Twitter cards does is allow you to attach rich photos or videos and different media experiences to tweets. So when you can attach rich media like videos and images to tweets, it can help drive traffic and engagement to your website. All it's going to take is just a few lines of markup to your webpage, and then users who tweet links to your content will have a quote-unquote card added to the tweet that's visible to their followers. So that's how it works. I would certainly look to get Twitter cards implemented if you are going to use Twitter as your platform of choice for social media marketing. So it does enhance the experience for the end user, and because it allows you as an advertiser or as somebody leveraging social media to really enhance your tweet, and it just provides a better experience for the end user who's looking at your tweet. And so like LinkedIn, you can really take a look at who's trending, what's trending on Twitter. So Twitter makes it easy for you to, follow. So here they'll list a who to follow. So these who to follow are similar to what you've been posting or similar to your industry. And then here you can look at trends. You can look at what hashtags are trending. And so if you click on a particular hashtag, you can, follow a particular person or an organization who tweeted something. So you always are reminded in Twitter who to follow. And so it makes it easier for you to pick and choose who to follow and build up your following fairly quickly, because Twitter actually provides you with opportunities on who to follow. Just like LinkedIn, just like YouTube, just like Instagram, there are influencers out there, people who have a large number of followers, who tweet on a regular basis, who tweet original content, who get high engagement. These are influencers, and these are the people you want to engage with. So look for those people on Twitter, follow them. I mean, the rule of thumb is if you follow someone on Twitter, generally they're going to follow you back. So if you can engage and follow influencers, you have an opportunity to see not only what they're tweeting, but the ability to communicate with them and engage with them as an influencer. So maybe they can retweet one of your tweets and get that tweet out in front of their followers. So you can advertise on Twitter. And the unique thing about advertising on Twitter, you can promote your tweet just like you promote a post on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. But more so, I think, than any other platform is the use of hashtags. And so use appropriate, relevant hashtags. I always tend to use a unique hashtag, but also depends on what you're tweeting about. If there's something that's trending, and again, Twitter will tell you what's trending in terms of hashtags. If it's something you're tweeting about, then go ahead and use that hashtag as well. You can have multiple hashtags in a particular tweet. And so don't be afraid to use a unique hashtag along with a hashtag that's trending, because the whole idea is you want your tweet to get noticed. And then you can use Tweet Chat or there's some other tools out there that are available to allow you to find people to follow. And these people might be interested in your product or service because, they could fit your target audience, or you can connect with like-minded folks who are in the same industry or have similar products or interests. So Tweet Chat's available for that reason. And you want to take advantage of these tools because, again, with Twitter, it's easy to build a following, but you want to build a following that is going to engage with your tweets. So let's talk about what tools are available for social media marketing. So when we talk about all these platforms available to us, okay, we talk about Facebook and Instagram, and we talked about LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube. I mean, those are popular platforms, but at the beginning of the session, I mentioned there's hundreds of social media platforms out there. And if you're posting content on a number of them, you want to be able to organize that content. You want to be able to organize it and schedule it, where it makes sense and when it makes sense. You want to stay organized. And so there are tools available to help you stay organized. Tools like Hootsuite, Buffer, or Sprout Social. Okay, some of these tools are available, at a cost of a free trial or at a low cost per month. So regardless of whether you're using a free version of one of these tools or another tool not listed, or you're actually paying for it, it's worth the investment. If you're going to partake in social media marketing, and even if you're on one platform, it's still worth it to have a social media tool available to help you schedule. And not only do these social media tools help you schedule, they do a lot of other things too. For example, they help you measure the engagement of your post. So let's take an example of one of them, like Sprout Social. So if I go to Sprout Social, here I can see for a particular company, I'm able to see, how my posts were engaged. Okay, so I can see daily engagements on particular platforms. I can also, schedule my post. So I can go ahead and pick a time and date to schedule them. And so I can go ahead and post something and put it in a queue to be published, for example, tomorrow or next week or whatever the case may be. So these tools do a lot for you. I mean, they help you discover new followers. They give you in-depth reports. They help you stay organized. And so to me, it's worth the investment to look at one of the tools listed here. These are some of the more popular ones, to maybe even a free version. But regardless of how much you pay and what tool you're using, it's still worth the investment just to make sure you're scheduling your post at the appropriate time. So you're not posting something back to back, as an example, and you're able to measure accordingly. So it's nice to be able to go into a tool like Sprout Social, go to reports and measure, in one place, how Twitter's performing or how Facebook's performing or how LinkedIn's performing. And so that's what a lot of these tools provide, is nice reporting options and nice scheduling options. So you can find more content you can create by using these tools. Again, you can schedule efficiently, analyze them. You can use insights to improve your campaign. So a lot of these tools give you nice insights to how the post was actually engaged, and you want to be able to leverage that. And some of these tools, if not all of them, have social listening. And social listening is monitoring what's being posted out there. So what else is posted, you can take a look at, and if it's something interesting or relevant, you can go ahead and follow or take part in that conversation. Okay, so that's what social listening allows you to do, and a lot of these platforms have that as a feature. So let's take a look at tips to be a good social media marketer. So some of the important things you should take care of are set up a social media marketing plan. When I say set up a social media marketing plan, there's some questions you want to be able to ask. Okay, what platforms am I going to use? What's my objective on each platform? In fact, even before you choose the platform, you want to figure out what your objective is in terms of social media. So your objective could be different on each platform. It could be brand awareness on Facebook, and it could be promoting a particular product on Twitter. Your objective is going to be on each platform. You want to be able to choose your KPIs and align your KPIs with each platform, meaning what metrics are important to your business goals. And you want to be able to figure out, okay, what kind of content am I going to post on these social media platforms? So you want to get organized and put a plan in place. And then you want to create informative, shareable, actionable, and relevant content. And what I mean by all that is you want to create unique content. That doesn't mean you can't leverage what other people are doing, meaning, if I'm, in the shoe business, I can certainly go to Nike or Adidas or Puma or Reebok and see what kind of posts they're putting out. And then I could take their cue and do something similar, but I want it to be unique to me, and I want it to be unique to my brand. And I want to be able to keep my content visual, meaning I want to be able to use as many photos and videos as I can that's available to me. because remember, videos generate better engagement. I want to be active and responsive with my customer base, meaning the whole point of social media is to engage, and people are going to respond, they're going to comment, they're going to take part in what you post. And so whenever they do, you want to be able to respond accordingly, whether that's positive or negative. And then you want to measure metrics like conversion rates and click-through rates. So that goes back to putting a plan in place. Figure out what your metrics are, and then when you're posting on a particular platform, you want to be able to lean on those metrics to make sure you're achieving your goals. So you want to have those metrics in place beforehand, and then you want to be able to use those metrics moving forward as you post. The whole idea is if you're measuring what you post, you're obviously going to want to lean more towards what's working versus what's not working. So if you have any insights or comments, feel free to post them below this video in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you and we'll respond accordingly. I want to thank you for paying attention and hanging in there, and hopefully you were able to get something out of today's seminar. If you have any questions or need more information, please feel free to go to Simplilearn.com. Thank you.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.